Hey everybody, Scorpion here. So with the batteries for the solar that I purchased, it came with cords. Most people, when they purchase these batteries, purchase the rack that the solar company has for them to slide into, and the bus bars are sitting about this far off the side from the points on the batteries. So really, I mean, a cable about yay long is more than enough to do what you need to do, and they provide those cables to you. They're about 4 aught cables, I believe. But being that I built my own, and I built my own rack because at the time, Signature Solar did not have a rack for 3 batteries. They only had the 6 battery rack, but they said something new is supposed to come in. They contact me when it did, and I'm impatient. Go figure. So I went ahead and bought the steel, and as y'all saw in a previous video, we built our own rack and we've installed it. So the next problem is, where am I going to put the bus bars? Well, I mounted the bus bars all the way to the front wall. So bus bars go all the way to the front wall and the batteries stick out in the center. To me, that's safer. Bus bars are kind of more out of the way in case I have a little kid in the trailer with me, or a dog or something like that. They come with covers to go over the bus bars, but they come off pretty easy. So I purchased the bus bars from them, mounted them to the front wall, but I've got to run the power that's on the front edge of the batteries back and over to the bus bars. So that's kind of what I'm working on now. So y'all stick around and I'll show you how I'm doing this. Alright, so what I'm doing here is their wire, I think it calls for 4 aught wire, if it's copper, for each 100 amp battery for the positive and negative side to run back to the terminals, or the bus bars maybe I should say. So I went to Lowe's and I figured I'll just buy my own wire. So that's what I did. The problem was they didn't have 4 aught wire. So he's like, sorry, we don't have it, you know, for AWG wire, if we want to be politically correct here. I can't help you. I said, well, what about 2 gauge? You know, let's go the next size up. You know, there's a problem with being too small when you're dealing with electricity and current flowing through wires. There's not really a problem with being too big, other than it just costs you extra. So he spun the reel around and he said, oh yeah, I got some of this. He's like, how much do you need? And I said, well, I measured probably about 30 inches for 4 connections. So, you know, about 120 inches is pretty much what I need. And he's like, okay. So he rolled it out in one piece and cut it off for me, and I purchased it. Now, the problem I have as well, and I'm probably going to run into a problem with this, of course the lugs that come with theirs is made for the battery. I don't see where their lugs are big enough to go on the bus bar, so I'd have to drill them out. But being that I got my own for the connection terminals here, I had to get something to go on the connection terminals. So I bought the smaller connection terminal for the side that goes on the battery, and I bought the bigger connection terminal for the side that's going to the bus bar. I don't think the bolt is going to fit through that, and this side may not fit in the spot on the battery. So we're going to see, but I'm going to go ahead and put the terminals on. If I need to drill them out or cut them down, I'll do that afterwards. Probably not the smartest way to do it. I should probably test them first, but hey, whatever. I'm going to show you how I do it and what I do and that kind of thing. And we're going to get this taken care of and hopefully get the batteries ran to the bus bars in this video. So, well, let's get to it. So, as you can see, I already cut the wire down to the right size, about 32 inches. I've already stripped both ends. I already put the small terminals on this side, okay? Some people have probably never messed with terminals before, so I'm gonna kind of help you and give you some information on those. Some people do put grease in these connections. It's some type of, I can't exactly tell you what it is, but it's some type of grease for electrical connections. Most of the time, the biggest time you do that is on your main coming in. But of course, most people aren't running this gauge wire in their house either. So, the smaller terminals took a flat blade screwdriver. These take Allen wrench. I think this is it. Oh, next size down. Yeah, I don't think that's the right one. That's a lot of space in there. Wow. Whatever though. Is he missing one? What is really going on here? Yep. So we need something in between these. They'll give me a couple minutes. I'll be back, and hopefully I can find the right size. I figured this thing had enough on there that one of these would work, but apparently not. So I'll be right back. Alright, so that split second for y'all was like 5 minutes for me. So I believe this was a 3/8, and it's got a long handle, which is nice because you want to be able to torque it down good and snug so it doesn't come out. So you just want to run these things out to where they're barely in there, so you've got plenty of room to get that wire in there and it not get hung up and cause an issue. Alright, so the path I'm looking to run these is going to be for battery number 1, or the lower battery. It's going to go between the two batteries, so it's going to go up almost 90-degree turn, run between the two batteries. It's going to get behind it, it's going to turn, run behind the steel and everything over to the bus bar and connect in. So with that said, I'm not worried about it getting scratched up really between the batteries and rubbing anything off. But to make sure, I've got some stuff that I'm gonna put on the lines just to keep it safe. Because especially once it comes out from between the batteries, you really start getting into a area where there's some sharp objects and stuff like that. So I want to make sure I give it extra connection, because nothing's worse than shorting out something you don't want to short out and then needing a new battery or causing a fire or something like that. So with that said, I don't need the full thing covered, but I do need, I'm gonna go with about half. Have enough? Yeah, I believe so. So we're going to cut them all off about the same. Slide them on there before we put that terminal on there, just because it'll be easier. I've already checked, this fits between the batteries just fine. Always good to have some left over. Alright, so there's my pieces of that. So the one thing I didn't grab is back here. So I want a little electrical tape to help secure this on here and keep it from sliding all over the place. And really, I don't need as much as I put on here, but it does kind of leave me that option of, in case I need to do something else later, you know, I can. So. So also help keep bugs out of it, other dirt and junk, and that kind of thing. So spin around here, get the other side. You always want to hold a little bit of tension on your electrical tape. It makes it stick a lot better. Makes that tighter seal and all that good stuff. Alright, so 2 ends are done. Normally something this short, you don't really need it. But if y'all been watching my videos, I tend to overkill everything. So go back in the center and add just a little bit, just to keep the center from opening. And to be honest with you, I'm probably going to go ahead and run these last few inches in it, because I know I'm going to be making a turn with it. I don't want it popping out over time. And this is really what's going to protect that wire in the back where those sharp edges are. Come up over that other tape just a little. So yeah, as you can see, I got it secured here. I secured it here. And then I started in the center about right here, and I run it all the way up to here, because that's where that 90 is going to be in the back. And that stuff could pop out, because it's just plastic tubing with a split down one side. So it's easy to get your wire and stuff in. So now you're kind of to your bus bar. So anytime you're making an electrical connection with stranded wire, you want them twisted. And of course they're twisted in this wire already. So when I stripped it earlier, it's already there. So you don't want anything sticking out the back side of the bus bar. You want the plastic right up to it. Gonna run this down till she's snug. And when you're using these, because copper is pliable, it bends pretty easy. Yeah, it's hot out here. So you can take this and torque this down. Like I said, you want a little bit of leverage, so you want the longer one. And you can hold it torque it down till you can't anymore. Then you're gonna back off a little and do it again. You should be able to get a little bit further than you were. Then you're gonna back off one more time. And tighten her down for a third and final. And each time you should be able to get it a little bit further than you had it before. And then that should never come off of there. So I'm sure y'all don't want to sit here and watch me do the next 3 wires. So I'll bring y'all back when it's time to make the connections. Alright, so I tried to get y'all set where you can kind of see what I'm doing back here. It's not perfect, but you should get the picture. So kind of first things first, we got to take the bolts out where we're going to put them. I already kind of ran the the wires through. However, it does look like I'm probably going to have to take them back off. Mainly because it doesn't look like that bolt's gonna fit through it. Let's try it and see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make that a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna pull these back out. Gotta keep it straight. We're gonna have to take them all down there and make them a little bit bigger. So while we're here, let's go ahead and check the front. And see how this is gonna work out. So we got the small ones for the front, and the bolts do fit through those. So we're good on the small ones. It's the big ones in the back that we need to make bigger. So let's go do that. All right, so I'm super blessed that my dad has awesome, cool stuff like this, because you can turn all these things and adjust it and everything else. And he's got a big shop that I can work in and play in and make stuff a lot easier, and instead of me having to find a different way. So I've already kind of lined it up. So I'm gonna punch this hole and we'll see if we need to go higher. So apparently that's the bit that we burn up out there earlier, cutting through steel. So it's not going to be much help. So I'm going to have to find another bit somewhere that will do what I need it to do. So y'all stick around and then I'll be right back. Alright, so let's try this again. Alright, so we'll have to go next size up. Alright. sure it's lined up good. Not much of a difference there. Let's try this bolt again. Gonna have to go bigger. I'm horrible at guessing distances and sizes, in case y'all can't tell. Alright, here we go. Still gonna have to go just a wee bit bigger. Alright, here we go. And it fits. So hard part's done. I now know which size I need for all of them. So I can go ahead and run them all through. Let's go back up there and see if we can't get these installed. We don't have a lot of light left, so hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing here. My arm's probably in the way. Bolt in. Let's slide this back. So I knew this was going to be a tight fit, especially with this size wire. But I also knew that it wouldn't do much moving around, and I wouldn't have to worry much about stuff being in the way and it rubbing on things. So once we get her started good, maybe. Alrighty. I'm having some issues. Guess y'all can't tell.
should get the gist of what I'm doing here. Just need you to bend a little bit there, buddy. There we go. Really starting to wonder if I'm trying to put the wrong bolt in. Heck, no. I haven't had a bolt that hard to put in a long, long time. Alright, so let's try it again. I've got this piece back out the way. There it goes, finally. Alright. Now I'm going to take y'all to the front. Alright, so it runs down between the two batteries. And it comes over here. To make a connection. About right there. There we go. And somewhere over here, not sure where it went, there's a little plastic piece that goes here, and I don't know if it's going to fit with that sticking out as far as it is, but I can always stick a piece of tape over it if I need to. Alright. Good and snug. So 3 more and batteries will be connected to the bus bars. Alright, so connected. See that wire runs through, that wire runs on top, comes around to the bus bar and the bus bar. So they are both connected. Negative side to the bus bar. Both of the positives are on the bus bar. Overall, this is basically what it looks like. So it's pretty much it. They're connected together, positive to positive, negative to negative. So now I gotta, next step with this would be running the cables from the bus bars up to here in the inverter. But yeah, that was a lot more than I expected. Anyway, slowly getting there, one day at a time, and hopefully I'll have some help and be able to get it work on some walls tomorrow. Still haven't done anything with walls, but we got to get the walls done because I'm almost to the point of starting to run electrical. And honestly, the box that I hung up here, I don't think it's going to be big enough. It was, but started thinking outside the box and kind of what I want to do with it. So I'd love to be able to run this trailer to my house during the day to offset my power bill. And I'd also like the house to run to the trailer at night, so I'm not drawing off my batteries at night, but I'll still have heat and AC out here. So it's going to take a little time to figure that out and exactly what I'm going to do. But we'll get there one day at a time. I'll just have to do some research on that, see if it's possible. And yeah. Oh, and I figured out today I'm missing a couple disconnects too. So anyway, other than that, I did go to the store and bought all kinds of goodies to put this thing together with, to do the wiring with. And we'll get around to that at some point. But first, the walls. See y'all next time.